Hello, it's Dave here,
And it's Tom.
and we're taking a look at Mirror's Edge Catalyst across PS4, Xbox One and the PC. And so we're kicking things off with the console versions here.
Yeah, so this is another Frostbite 3 engine title, and well, the resolution, what's the situation there?
Well, it's basically the same as we saw in the last two Frostbite games that were released. So we've got a 900p frame buffer on PlayStation 4, and on Xbox One that gets knocked down to 720p.
Right, so what else is different between the two? What's the number one difference you'd say?
Aside from the resolution, the draw distance is slightly pared back on Xbox One. So, for example, we have buildings that are missing in certain scenes, and they only appear as you get closer to them.
So it'll be interesting to see where that falls on the PC spectrum. But yeah, clearly geometry is stripped away in the distance. Though, do you think it notably affects the playability of the game?
Well, during gameplay it's not that noticeable if you're sort of running around really quickly across the stage. It's mainly apparent when you just sort of finished a cutscene and you're just standing there looking at the scenery. Those views don't appear quite as sort of densely detailed on Xbox One, but in gameplay it's a bit harder to spot.
Right, so what else is missing or added between the two?
Well, in this shot here we can see the rain on PlayStation 4 is actually a lot heavier, so alpha effects have been reduced on Microsoft's platform slightly.
That's interesting. It's a very subtle difference, but it is definitely noticeable in the footage you've made here. As for the lighting, what do you reckon? I've seen your notes you've got global illumination as a difference between the two.
Okay, so in the beta I've noticed there's a few lighting bugs, so sometimes the global illumination doesn't seem to turn on until, say, after a real-time cutscene has passed.
Interesting.
And occasionally we see lighting failing to load across all platforms, and then, a couple of seconds later, or in some cases a few minutes later, it kicks in.
Oh, that's very odd. Could it be a bug?
Possibly. I'm thinking it might just be because this is unfinished code and not everything is running quite as smoothly as it could be.
Right, that's a pretty fair qualification, isn't it? It is unfinished and we've got to watch out for changes in the final one. It's just an indication of where things might go. The resolution being a good example of that. I think it's safe to say that'll be stuck in place given what we know about the engine, but these other differences may change, they may fall away. So between the other effects and settings, it seems like it's mostly the same, isn't it?
It's basically a match, yeah, so texture detail, anisotropic filtering, all that kind of stuff. The core assets are basically identical between PlayStation 4 and Xbox One there.
Good stuff. So shall we move on to the PC version and see what that offers over the leader of the consoles, I guess in this case is PS4, so let's see what it does differently to that.
Indeed, let's go for it.
Right, so the first thing I guess is the resolution change, which is a 1080p output on PC right now.
Yep, that's right, and well, as we've seen in like Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront, the jump to 1080p on PC means you get a sharper image than on PS4, so it's the same situation as usual.
Yeah, there's no upscale, so that's good. What else is there though? Do you get high quality textures?
Yep, we're running at ultra settings on PC and we get high resolution textures and normal maps across the game.
I'm noticing something really interesting with the reflections as well. Is that actually missing reflections on PS4?
Yeah, on PC we actually get, on wet surfaces, we get environment reflections, whereas on consoles that's completely absent altogether. We do still get reflections on glass and other shiny surfaces, but just wet areas.
That's pretty cool. It stands out as one of the bigger differences I've noticed in the comparison footage you put together here. And shadows as well, I spotted a difference in resolution on PC.
Yep, that's right. So PC, you've got high-res shadows, they're cleaner and sharper, though there is some sort of low-resolution artifacts up close in a few places.
And backing that up is the higher quality ambient occlusion, isn't there?
Yes, it's a bit more refined so we don't get that thick halo look that we see on consoles.
Yeah, when you approach walls.
And in addition to that, we also get full resolution alpha effects on PC, along with a higher level of anisotropic filtering too. We're running at 16x here. Consoles, it's harder to sort of pin down the metric, but it is a bit lower and there's less detail on ground surfaces and stuff. So overall, so far the PC version has the edge. As to be expected, we get more refinement in the presentation with effects and some of the core artwork, But in terms of consoles, right now it's the PlayStation 4 version that's shaping up to be the better of the two.
And of course we've got to stress this is the beta build of all three versions, and things are likely to change by the final build.
Yeah, the game's gone back for a couple of weeks, so it's now due out on June 9th in Europe or June 7th in North America. So yeah, DICE have quite a bit of time to polish things off, and we don't know how old this build is here, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see a bit more refinement overall.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Okay, so this has been a look at Mirror's Edge Catalyst. If you enjoyed the analysis, don't forget to give us a like or subscribe. We'll have more coverage of the game closer to release, but until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.